Hi there, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to just jump right in. Today I want to talk about basically the roles that children are put into when they have narcissistic parents. And there are three basic um, archetypes or kind of, for want of a better word, maybe identities that these children are sort of forced into. And the first one is called the golden child. The second one is the scapegoat. And then the third is the forgotten child. So the more common are the scapegoat and the golden child. There isn't always a forgotten child, but there can be depending on the dynamics. So an example might be if there are, let's say, more than two children, then maybe one ends up just getting lost in the mix and they become the forgotten child. But they also could be an only child and become the forgotten child. So the golden child, pretty much what it sounds like, the golden child is they're the favorite, they can do no wrong. They're put on a pedestal, but it's not a good thing because it's all very conditional, like, oh, you're such a good child, you're this, you're that. They're basically like forced to mold themselves into the image of that parent or parents, if there's both of them, which can be, unfortunately, the dynamic as well. And then the other thing with the golden child is they might grow up to be a narcissist themselves because they are identifying so much with the parent or parents. They take on those characteristics. And if they don't have that awareness of what's going on or don't figure it out down the road, then they could become just like them. Or they could fall off their pedestal and then suddenly become the scapegoat. Or sometimes, although this is a little more rare, the golden child might at some point figure out something's not quite right, or maybe once they leave the home, they figure it out. So the golden child it's not great. It sounds maybe better than it is, but it's still a form of abuse. And then of course we have the scapegoat, and the scapegoat is they're the one that gets all all the abuse. They're the one that can't do anything right. They might get more punished. There might be a hypocrisy taking place where, golden child does whatever they want and the scapegoat can't do any of those same things. Sometimes there can be misogyny where maybe the boy in the family is the golden child and the girl is scapegoat, or it could be the other way around as well, or it could just be the oldest is the golden child and the scapegoat's the younger one. So there are various things behind it, but sometimes it can be who the parent most identifies with. Sometimes it can be who they least identify with. So there's not a lot of rhyme or reason to it, but there's just something in the parent that decides they create this dynamic. It's obviously very unhealthy and very abusive. But there you go. So you got the golden child, we got the scapegoat, and then we have what's known as the forgotten child. Forgotten child is exactly what it sounds like. They just don't matter. They're completely ignored. They are just either left to their own devices, or they might be not validated in any way. So I always say, like, another form of abuse is that just neglect, where emotional neglect, they might have all their needs met. They might not even have their basic needs met, but sometimes it's harder to figure it out if your needs are being met on a physical way and you're just not really being attended to in any other way. You basically are just taught, you don't matter. You just don't matter. It's like you stay out all night, whatever. You're just not acknowledged. It's like you don't exist. So sometimes the forgotten child might withdraw even more. They might just become almost like they may become very avoidant or dissociate, where it doesn't matter what I do, I'm never going to be noticed anyway, so forget it. Or they might decide to become rebellious, lash out. Maybe they'll pay attention to me now if I act out. And then what happens is they might end up being treated like a scapegoat. They might only be punished for what they do wrong, but they never get any praise for what they might do right. That also happens with the scapegoat. The scapegoat's getting all the negative attention only. The golden child's getting all the positive attention, and the forgotten child is not getting any of it. Now, in some families, there may not be a forgotten child. There might just be the scapegoat or the golden child. In other families, there might be one child, and that child could be any of those things. So again, there's no way to necessarily know as far as the pattern of a family, but that is basically the dynamic that takes place within those specific identities that are, it's not your identity, it's identity that's forced onto you, that is created for you. So they're all very abusive. They're all not helpful in any way. And really, any of those types of things that you've been through is a form of abuse. And that being said, as I've mentioned before in other videos, it's very important that you seek therapy with an experienced therapist who understands narcissistic abuse and is trauma informed. So I don't want to, I just wanted to get to the point and put that across. I could talk more about that in greater detail if anyone is interested, but in the meantime, that's all for today. Hit like, hit subscribe, and thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.